Hello, hello, my darling doves. As you can probably guess from everything that's laid out here, we are doing something completely different today. We are going to be using these Wolverine and Deadpool friendship magnetic necklace to make a set of friendship bracelets a la Blake Lively at the Super Bowl in preparation for Deadpool 3 coming out later this week. I believe the official release date is the 26th, so it's coming out in just a few days, which means it's the perfect time to get crafty and have a little bit of fun. So I've got my blue and yellow here for Wolverine. I've got my black and red here for Deadpool. The classic costume is blue and yellow. I think they're actually doing more of a blue or a yellow and black, kind of like the necklaces have here for this time around. It's a lot darker in tone, but that's what I remember from the old comics and the old cartoons is the blue and yellow. So that's what we decided to go with. Plus it makes it a little brighter, gives a little more variance. But we've got gold chain, jump rings, clasps, and crimps. The crimps are very important for a project like this. And then Supplemax monofilament illusion cord for the beaded section. Now, Blake Lively had it with bangle bracelets, thick gold bangles, and she had just these on a thick gold bracelet chain. So we are kind of riffing off of that to make it a little more everyday friendship bracelet style. We're not doing exactly what she did, because also that wouldn't give us a lot to craft to actually have some fun with. But I've got little needle nose bead crimper and wire benders here. I've got some scissors for the cord and my handy dandy soft measuring tape. All in all, I will be honest, not a cheap project. I got everything you see here at Michael's, minus these, which are from Hot Topic, courtesy of Her Universe. Awesome brand, very nerdy, delightful stuff. I think I spent like $50 total, but like I also had to buy these. I had to buy the cord. So if you already have stuff like this at home or stuff you can repurpose, you can make this a lot cheaper. I just kind of went nuts. But for the faint of heart, it is not a $5 project. This alone was like 12 bucks for the pair of them. But if you've got some money to spend, you've got some time, you're crafty, or you have leftover beads and stuff from other projects, you could probably make this a lot cheaper than how I'm doing it. So let's get into it. First thing we're going to do is measure. So when you're doing bracelets, especially if you're going to be doing beads on cord like this, you want to give yourself some wiggle room. You don't want to measure right where your bracelet is going to be tightest, because you're going to have a lot of things going on, right? Every single bead is going to add volume to that cord going around, and you want some room for slide. And when you're stringing your clasps and crimps onto the end of it too, where you lock it together, you need some room on the cord to actually feed that through and make your loop. So if I normally measure at right about a 7, I'm actually going to go up to about 8.5, roughly. Gives me a good amount of slide. However, once I actually have everything put together, it's not going to have that much slide. This I can go a little bit closer to the body. I can do more like an 8 on this because we're not adding anything to this. It's just going to be straight down chain. And this is kind of going to be the easy part for us, is getting the chain situated. But it's got all these little twisty ties on the back to keep it flat and organized when it's on the shelf, so we got to undo that part. So I can find the end of the chain to work with. There we go. And then we go down to the next one. It's giving me a run for my money today. we'll just loosen that right up. And then if we pull it straight out, again, I'm going to measure this just a little bit shorter because we're not adding volume to this one and we want it to be relatively the same length. I'm going to go about to 8 inches here. So that would be these 2 links. Now the question is, will these pull apart or do I need my wire cutters? I think these should pull apart. It looks like there's a very small seam right there that I can maybe coax open. Yep, it's starting to come open. You can see right there. Oof, there we go. Again, it's open and we can just slide that length off. And that's going to be enough for bracelet number 1. And then we're just going to find the midpoint here. It's right at about the 4-inch mark. We're going to need just 1 jump ring to start with. And this does have a ziplock top, which makes it nice for storing after you're done with your project. They won't go spilling all over the place when you have them put away. Come here. There we go. Got one. I'm gonna open that. Whoop. I'm gonna drop it first. What else is new? We're going to find the line right there. Oh, shoot. I'm going to drop it on the floor. 1 second. I cannot leave that down there and grab it later because the cat will eat it. Shoot. These are slippery little buggers. I would advise working somewhere that you don't have these kind of problems if possible. But we're just gonna open that up. You can see a little gap there. We're gonna take our good buddy Deadpool here off of the jump ring on the necklace. So we're just gonna grab that. Find the opening right there. And give that a nice little twist. Oops, maybe. Not a whole lot of space to grab it there with as close as they have this fixture. So we'll try again. I can see the open line is right there up against my finger. I'm going to grab it and give it a twist. Oh gosh, maybe not. There we go, it's starting to come open. Aha, got it. Take that off, put it toward the back. Take our charm. String it onto our new one. These did only come in the gold finish, or the silver edged finish. They didn't have the gold finish, unfortunately, so I can't make it match 100%, but that's okay. Probably would have cost a lot more than like 12 bucks if it was gold finish instead of silver. So our middle ring is going to be right about here, this one. And we're just going to string this through. And then we're going to close this back up. And that's it. We've got the first part of the bracelet halfway assembled. And then I'm going to go ahead while I'm here and actually add our clasp to one side. That way that part's taken care of before everything gets too bulky for us. There we go. Grabbed that. And we just need one more jump ring. Find your opening point, which is right there. Twist to open. We're going to thread through the last link in the chain. And then we'll also go ahead and put the clasp on. Oop, here comes a train. And I think the train is gone already. Excellent. Back to it then. We're just going to grab the other side. Twist. Closed. Almost. A little bit of a gap there, as you can see. Nope, train's still there, just quieter than I thought it was going to be. There's a couple train tracks close by. It must not be the one that's right down the road. It must be the one that's a few blocks over from that one. By a few blocks, I mean maybe a 7-8 minute drive. But there we go. Oh, and they're nice and sturdy. And then we need to think about this. So, because of the fact that I want to do 2 separate strands of beads for the primary and the secondary color, and I'm going to do kind of an alternating pattern. I've got an idea. I want to have 2 different loops of beads coming across. So my best bet, in all honesty, would be to attach them to the jump ring we've already got here by looping them through, securing them with a crimp, and then stringing them. And then that's also going to help me with my measurement to make sure that it's ending right at about the same spot down here. And then I can add another jump ring, the crimp bead, secure it in place. So I think we're going to do it that way. Now, how do you find the opening to these things? Oh, okay, that just slides right off. That's nice. And then it's a clear filament, so it's probably not going to show up super well on here. But it's a very thin, clear filament. Problem I can see is that if I crimp it in place and I start stringing the beads on it, I realize I'm absolutely fundamentally wrong and I need a lot more than an inch of variance to make this fit me. I'm going to be in trouble. So for this first one, just for the sake of my own sanity, I'm going to cut it quite a bit longer and then just trim it at the end and figure out what I actually ended up measuring to. So I'm going to measure. And it's also been a long time since I've done anything like this, so I'm also just kind of banking on my calculations being a little rusty. but I'm going to measure and cut at right about 9.5. Oh, come on now. Give myself an extra inch of wiggle room in case I do mess up. And also, putting on crimp beads is not the easiest thing in the world. Sometimes you end up with way more hanging off the end than you intended to. And that can make a big difference when it comes to your inch measures. Okay, we're gonna pull those off, get those out of the way. We're done with that for now. Oh, shoot. Shoot. I am dropping these little buggers left and right because they are so tiny. Pretty sure I just lost a couple to the floor. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Yep, I dropped another 2 on the floor. At least 2 is all I can find right now, but it only seemed like 2 when I dropped. So here's hoping that's all that was. So how to put on a crimp bead. You slide it on as if it's a regular bead. You take your end piece, in this case the big jump ring, put it through that. And then you have to feed it back through again to create your closed loop. And then, yeah, I've got a huge tail on there right now. Does not need to be that long. I'm going to pull it quite a bit shorter. That's what I meant about if you... Dang it, pulled it too short. But that's what I meant about you might lose several inches there. So always measure extra long for the crimp. So let's try again. String it through. Find your crimp. Helps if I actually keep it where you can see what I'm doing. My gosh. I have my glasses on today and I'm still acting like I'm blind. Okay, there. Got quite a bit of tail. Pull it a bit shorter, but not as short as I did the last time because last time I lost it. And then take the crimp bead and you're actually going to smash it. Super, 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 super flat. As flat as possible. Every bit of strength you got. Squish it. And it should look something like that. And that's going to make sure that it does not go anywhere at all. And then, since it's gold, it just kind of blends right in and looks like a square bead. And we've still got a good amount of length to work with here for our beading. So, let's get back into the fun part. Oops. I had it this way, didn't I? That's why he's sitting backward. So my thought is that I want to take this and have like a nice long section of red, a section of black, a section of red, a section of black, and then a nice long section of red again. But we want to make sure that we're measuring this out effectively for the number of beads we have and the length of the chain and how long the finished product is going to be. I want to kind of count this out to where the black, red, black section is right in the middle, floating over where he is. And these are 6/0 seed beads. They come in a few different sizes. They also come in an 8 and an 11, which they get smaller as they go down. So bear that in mind. These are the larger side of the check seed beads that you can get. I went with this size. I kind of did want something a little bit bigger and a little bit more vibrant, but also this had all of the colors that I wanted. The two other smaller sizes, while they would have looked just as nice, did not have the color range I wanted. I did also intentionally go with two completely solid colors and two colors that have that kind of see-through glass effect, where you can kind of see the finding on the inside. I did do that on purpose because I thought that was a nice effect, and color availability. But yeah, so these caps twist off, and then so I don't get a mess all over the place like I just did with the crimps, I'm gonna pour some into the cap, set that upright in the back, and then dump these out. Just because I tend to knock everything over, as I'm sure you are well aware, I am the queen of spills. So we're gonna do, I like even numbers. So we're gonna see what 10 looks like on here. And people use all kinds of different bead spinner tools, and they have those really fancy bead boards you can use for this kind of project to make it a lot easier on yourself. Some people will thread the cable through a needle to make picking up the beads a lot easier. I don't have any of that. I'm just winging it old school. This is how I did it when I was a kid. This is how I'm doing it now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what 10 looks like. That is 10 is a nice round number to start with because it gives us a good representation of what the size of the beads compared to the size of everything else you got going on is actually going to look like. So I think I'm going to need at least another 10 to get pretty close to where I want to be. I think we might need 22 in total. So let's do 12 and see where we are. Two. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. Come on. 9. 10. 11. 12. Ooh, okay, excellent. That is right about where I want to be with the red for the first section of it, because I want to do some black, some red, some black, and then the rest of it in red. So 22 seems to be a pretty good number at this stage. And now, based off the size that we know these beads are and how many it took to get us to the center, I probably poured out too many for right now. I'm gonna try doing just 6 black ones on each side, and I think 6 red ones in the middle. That's probably too many. I'm not gonna sit here and actually like count right now, but that pile kind of looks like 12. Yeah, that looks good. That's definitely not enough red. That's like, I think 5. They're easier to count because of the silver inside. let's do the black. Oh, I missed. I missed entirely. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually getting a bit close. 5. No, I think I'm going to stick with just 5. Wait, let me stretch it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do just 5. It's so hard to tell because it's wiggling. Now I'm going to do the full 6. And then if I get it all the way down and I don't like it, I can always do it again. I'm going to do 6. 1. Back to the red. 2. Because every time I add, it bunches up the chain at the end, so it's hard to see where I actually am at with this. There we go. Also, the magnetic factor is kind of getting stuck on everything. That actually makes it look like it's a bit too short. I want at least one more black one. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do 8 total in the black. Oops. Okay, there. Pull it all the way out, tip it all the way down, and not bad. Okay, so if we do 6 red. That didn't feel like it went through. 3. 4. 5. 6. Come on now. Sit nicely for me. No, that's not close enough. That is not close enough at all. I very much miscalculated. I mean, it looks good and the design's gonna look good, but I need more beads than that. So we're gonna go up to, from 22 on this side, we're gonna go up to 26. And this is the fun thing about doing designs like this, is there's a lot of trial and error that you gotta go through to actually get to what you want. So we're gonna add on another is quite a bit closer. Now we'll add our black. Three. Oops, come on now. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Stretch this out nice and long. Push all those beads all the way up to the end. Unhook that because that makes it lay funny. And those are still not all the way at the end. Come on, push, push. There. There we go. Much better. Because I want it to be right up to about here, and then I just want to do a short section of red, more black, and then red all the way down. With the clasp added, I know it looks like I'm a little too far on this side. I'm not going to have enough room on this side, but I will, I promise. So let's do 6 red in the middle. Because we want to take it just past the hanging charm. Yep, beautiful, perfect. So we need 8 black for the other side. I'm going to have to dig out just 2 more because it looks like I've got 6 left. Six. 2 more would be 7 and 8, and then we're going to do another 24 again to get to the end. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna need more beads. 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, I'm a bit short. Need about 6 more at least. And then we're going to finish her off. Perfect 6. Okay. And then to make sure that we're good. Oh yeah, we're good. Because, yes, I know it looks just a hair short right now, but that's because we still have to thread the crimper on here and attach it to this last jump ring, which we need to add so that we have something to hook our closure to. We don't want to hook it directly to the chain. We need to add a jump ring to attach this and the second set of beads that's going to go underneath. So, yes, we have quite a bit left over. Let's see how we did measurement-wise. We are a little over 1.5 inches over, so our measurements are coming through perfectly because we want to make sure we have that extra space to attach the crimp bead. Like you saw earlier, if you try to do it too short from the get-go, you will drop it, and you definitely don't want to drop it at the end and lose all of your hard work with putting the beads on. So, to make this easier for myself, this time I'm going to do it in reverse. I'm going to take the jump ring out and get it ready. Gosh darn, I'm dropping everything today. There it is. Oh, okay. Jump ring out and ready. We've got a couple spares now loose back here too. We're going to take the crimp bead and we're going to thread it on. And then we're going to take the jump ring and just go ahead and thread that right on too. And then go ahead and thread back through the crimp bead. Get everybody all nice and snug and cozy. And find these. Go ahead and give it our nice good smash. And as you can see, that is not crimping as well as the first one. Half a tick, please. Gotta get the right angle on it, otherwise it's never gonna settle. Oh, I am so sorry. I know when I drop stuff on this table, it's very loud. There we go. Now you can see that it's crimped nice and flat, not going anywhere. We do have just a little bit of playroom on the jump ring, which is what we need to attach it to this down here. But that's good. And you can either cut this off, thread it back through a couple of the beads, then cut it off, which is what I'm gonna do. Maybe. Because just just on the off chance something gets wrapped around my bracelet and yanks real hard, I want a little bit of extra wire on there so that it hopefully doesn't come apart. There it comes. But that crimp is completely secure right now, so even if I didn't leave that tail on there, it's not going anywhere. Because we squashed it flat. Yes, we did. Okay, now we're going to find the opening here, which it looks like is right here. Grab our pliers, give it a good little twist, open it right up. Take the other side of the bracelet, feed it through, close it back up, and we've got one side done. Ta-da! And then hooks right into the jump ring. We could leave it just like that. That is very pretty, but I'm a glutton for punishment and I love layers. So I'm going to do a second round of beads to sit on the other side of it when it's on, and I'm going to reverse the color palette. So it's going to be black with a little bit of red and then black in the middle. So before I go doing all that work, let's just do a fit check real quick. And make sure we love the way it fits. Because if we need to make any changes, we want to do it before we go attaching more stuff. Oh, and that is perfect. It's loose. It's not too loose. It can't go a whole lot further up my arm. It's also heavy enough it'll just stay down here. But it is sitting very nicely on my arm. I am super happy. Okay. Let's take a 30-second tea break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to speed run doing the other half of this, because since we've got that second jump ring on there now, and that's going to be our closure jump ring, we're going to have to crimp on the top and the bottom line. So that's going to take just a slightly different approach. But we'll be right back. Okay, tea break was lovely. So by now, you all know the process. So we are going to go ahead and speed up this second part and get right to showing you the finished product. there we have it, speed run complete. The bracelet is done. We've got our 2 layers of the Merc with a Mouse colors, and it's going to fit absolutely beautifully for the movie coming out next week. I am super excited with everything we've accomplished here today. I hope you are too, and I will be back with another video for you all very soon. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. I am going to go finish the Wolverine side of this collection because it is a 2-piece. Here is the finished project, both Deadpool and Wolverine all finished in preparation for the movie. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful night.